So this is it. You see this? This is my weighted vest. Now, if any of you are having any bone issues and you're approaching, that age that women we approach, and within a few years, I'm going to be 60, I'm turning 57. I had a fracture in my early 50s, pretty much 49, turning to 50. It was an ordeal, and then I learned that I was deficient in vitamin D, and I had been living in this cold weather climate without knowing I was supposed to take vitamin D, because you can see some sun there setting in the background. But unfortunately, we have 9 long months of winter here in Canada where I live, and the sun is just too soft, and my skin usually is not exposed because it tends to be too cold. So when I learned that my bone density was not optimal, did I take medication? No, I didn't, because I was going to harden my bones, and hardening the bones will not do anything to ensure I don't have fractures, because it's like any of these branches on the tree. The hardest the branch is, the more likely that a wind or an impact comes and breaks it in two. But if the flexibility is in the bone, and we're constantly allowing that dynamic process of that living bone to put new calcium, new bone into the bone, but also to recycle the old stuff, then we have flexibility in the bone. Just that's the reason that kids, when they fall, they never break. Well, so I learned that the most important thing was to keep my bones flexible by ensuring that I'm doing a lot of jumping and resistance exercises. And I found that wearing this weighted vest that I hike and I walk with, and I do jumps in all directions, up and down, and the impact is what is going to send the message to my bones that they need to keep growing. Like kids, this is the main reason kids just jump on and off the couch and everywhere they go. And then adults, how many of us do you see us limping up and down as we move? Not many of us. I tell you, I go for runs, and I'm just constantly, every 10 steps or whatever, I just take a big leap with my weighted vest, and that is enough. That has been enough to create that resistance that travels all through my spine, through the hip bones, onto my bones, and it delivers that message. So the bones now keep growing, and they keep expanding and becoming strong, but true strength with flexibility still in them. So my bone density has improved. I have not had any fractures, even though, as I said, in a couple of months I'm 57. I had many falls, and remember that breaks do happen because we fall. And yet, if we have the flexibility, if we also develop really strong muscles, and we use activities of daily life to incorporate weight in our bodies, such as, you're carrying your groceries. Well, don't just carry them, put them up and down a few times, making all those extra efforts. If you're going to sit on a chair doing a few squats, simple little things that we can incorporate in our everyday lives, then those bones continue to grow and develop. Meds free, no need for medication. I have not taken one single medication. The doctor wanted to prescribe me some. I did my research. I'm like, no, thank you very much. I don't want my bones to get hardened for life and my jaws to break when I go to the dentist. I don't need that. Who wants that? Nobody, not at least me. I will not take the easy road, which really is not the easy road, because I'm going to end up worse than I started. I'm just going to put that time and effort, which is not effort. If you find really good ways to incorporate those little exercises into your daily routine to add that extra weight. Wear a backpack with rocks, with books, whatever it takes. It's so simple to do, but doing it makes a big difference, and it has a rippling, good, positive effect in the growth of your bones. Not doing it sends us in the pathway backwards to the negative. So I know, what do you want? I want strong bones for life, and I want to bulletproof my golden years so that I can be mobile to embrace my kids and recognize them when they come back one day with my future grandchildren, if they have them, or whatever life is going to bring for me. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to use my body. I want to continue skiing, which I love to do. And all the activities, hiking in the forest, running, doing my yoga every day, all these are important activities, and all of them, ironically, ensure that those muscles are strong and they keep developing to support the skeleton and the bones keep growing, and you'll see how you can enjoy a beautiful, beautiful life, is strong in all ways, not just in your bones and your structure, but also in your mind and your spirit, because you know that you're doing those daily deposits every day to support your bone health. And of course, in another video, I'm going to talk more about things and tips that help me adding a bit more protein in my diet. And I'm a raw vegan, so I found that yes, I always tended to be really low in protein, more like a fruitarian really, like 75% of what I eat is fruits and raw vegetables and a few nuts and seeds. Are very basic, but I did started putting a bit more focus and adding a little bit more protein, not a lot, not huge amounts, but all those things make a big difference, and vitamin K too. So there's a lot of things that we can do tweaking. And I'm not a doctor by any means, I'm just a human being. I'm a woman that got this diagnosis, and first it was like a death sentence, and then I decided, after crying a few days, I'm like, this is not going to possess me. This is not going to be in charge of my life. I'm going to be in charge of it. I have it, it doesn't have me. And once I put myself on the driver's seat, everything changed, because my lenses, my perspective changed. So I want to encourage you, anybody who had that diagnosis or suspects that you have is weak bones, or you've been told that your bones are weak, that you should exercise critical thinking, filter it through your body, through your mind, and see if there's actions that you can do, conscious, mindful actions that you can incorporate to support your bone health and your muscle growth. Doing balancing exercises every day, which I do through my yoga. All those things ensure that if I'm about to have a fall, I'll be less likely to fall. And if I don't fall, guess what? I'm not going to have fractures. But they also say that the best predicament and the best way to predict whether we're going to have a fracture and we have stronger bones or not is if we fall, do we fracture? And because I do have a bit of a risky personality, and I run in the forest, up and down the hills, and I have tripped over rocks, and then once I went over the handlebars, like biking with my son downhill, and all those times, I never broke a bone. So I believe my bones have gotten stronger and stronger. And my DEXA scan shows that too. So I hope that maybe you want to put this to the test. What is there to lose? I mean, in the worst case scenario, you have more bone. More bone mass is longer longevity with mobility. Isn't that great news? So I encourage you to please thrive in you, embrace the best opportunities to deliver with positive actions, mindful choices, and support at all levels your well-being, so that you can invest and then cash the dividends long term, so that you come to the conclusion that your wellness is truly your wealth. What's the point of having, being successful on paper and having a secure longevity if we don't have our health, if we don't have a sharp intellect to recognize our loved ones? So this is a journey that we can do together. Please go ahead and find out what is that one action today that you can do. I'm going to be doing the same, and together we're stronger. And if you shine and you thrive being you, I shine being myself, and together we can create a beautiful, radiant world. So I thank you for watching. Please share along, and thank you for subscribing. And I wish you love, peace, namaste, and strong bones and muscles for life. Thank you for watching.